and welcome to Wednesday's math session. So today we are going to be building and applying our knowledge that we've learned so far this week about area and perimeter. So on Monday we looked at area and perimeter of rectangles and squares, and yesterday we looked at the area and perimeter of compound shapes. So today is just a bit of a recap lesson. We're going to bring all of those all that knowledge together with some problem solving activities and some reasoning activities. So it's not really any new skills today, just consolidating and applying what we've done so far to make sure that we've already got it. So for a warm-up on the screen, I have got three different rectangles, two rectangles and a square, sorry. So three different shapes. There are three different area measurements, and there are three different perimeter measurements. As a warm-up, I want you to match up each shape with the correct area and perimeter, and then come back when you are ready. Okay, so our first shape, so we've got 11 by 5, so we times 11 by 5, which gives us 55 centimetres. Then if this side is 5, this must be 5. If this is 11, this must be 11. If we add them all together, we get 32 centimetres. Then shape number 2, we've got 9 by 2. 9 times 2 is 18 centimetres squared, so that's the area for that one. Similarly to the first one, if that's 2, that should be 2. If that's 9, that should be 9. Add them all together and we get 22 centimetres. And then our third shape is a square, so if this is 9, this must be 9, so we've got 9 times 9 is 81. And then we've just got 4 lots of 9 to add together to get the perimeter, which is 36 centimetres. So hopefully you got all of that right and that you're ready and raring to go. So let's have a look at our first question together, which is going to be a word problem. So a room measures 16 feet by 6 feet. What is the area of the room? That's easy peasy. And then it says use the formula A, so area, equals width times length. So the word formula just means a way, a sum to work it out. So to work out area, we times the width by the length. So it's just asking you to use that. And we know that the width by the length is 16 feet by 6 foot. So if you are measuring this room, how big of an area would it be? So have a go. You should be able to do this by yourself independently. So if it's 16 foot by 6 foot, what is the area of the room? So pause the video to have a go and then come back when you are ready. Okay, so if we use this formula, we've got 16 foot times 6 foot, so 16 times 6. So our answer should be 96 feet squared. Don't forget your squared for your area. So well done if you got that question right. Okay. Next question. So using the correct formula, and we just talked about formula, so that just means to work out area, you times the width by the length. To work out the perimeter, you add all the sides. So using those correct formulas, calculate the area and perimeter of the shapes below. Again, this is what we did on Monday. It's two rectangles. They're not compound shapes. So can you work out the area and perimeter of the shapes below? So both of those shapes. Pause the video and then have a go, and then come back when you are ready for the answers. Okay, let's have a look at shape number A, letter A. So if it's a rectangle, then we know that this is 9 meters also, and this is 500 centimeters also. Now, however, we've got a little problem here because we've got meters and we've got centimeters. So we've got two different units of measurement. Now we did converting measures last term, and we've also been doing it for our homework this week. So you need to be able to convert either meters into centimeters or centimeters into meters. So you need to make sure that you have got the same unit for all of the sides, because that way you're going to be working out the area and the perimeter correctly. Now it's up to you which way you decided to do that, but hopefully you spotted that and you've done it right. And then you just need to add all the sides together. Similarly, same on this on shape B. So we know that this is the same as the opposite side. So this is 80 millimeters and this is 14 centimeters. But then that leaves us with the problem of having millimeters and centimeters. So again, you need to convert one of them into the other so that all your measurements are in the same unit before you can work out the area and perimeter. Now, if you didn't spot that and you've made a mistake, then now's your chance to pause the video and have another go at the question, making sure you convert them so you're using the same measurements for each side. Doesn't matter which way you convert it, whichever way is easiest for you. So if you made a mistake, go back and try it and then come back again. Okay, now for my answers, I have converted all of these into meters. So I know that in 500 centimeters into meters makes 5 meters. So then I did 9 times 5, which gives me 45 meters squared. Then I had 9, add 9, add 5, add 5, which gives me 28 meters. If you've done a different conversion, then make sure that your conversion is correct. So that if you turned it into centimeters, your centimeters is the same amount as 28 meters. Similarly, on shape B, I've changed them into centimeters so that I know 80 millimeters is 8 centimeters. So then I've got 8 times 14, which gives me 112 centimeters squared. So then I've got 14, add 14, add 8, which gives me 44 centimeters, okay? So that's just like we did on Monday, but thrown in a little bit of measurement conversion to keep you on your toes as well, and just to make sure that you're remembering that. So well done if you got those right. Okay, now this one is similar to our compound shapes that we were looking at yesterday. So the question is, which shape has an area and a perimeter that equal the same number? Okay, now remember, and this is a little bit of a hint, to split your shapes to work out the area. So I would split this one here and I would split this one here. Okay, so then we've got 2 different shapes. Now, the only problem is with this shape that you're missing a side here. Okay, so you're going to have to work out what that side is. You also, and I'm going to spot this for you, on this one, we've got 20 millimeters here instead of centimeters. These are all centimeters, so that should be easy to work out, but this one isn't. So you're going to need to work out how many centimeters is 20 millimeters and convert this first of all to work it out. Okay, so there's quite a few steps, but it's the same idea as yesterday. Okay, so you're doing exactly the same thing. You're adding up all the sides and you're working out the area of this shape, the area of this shape, and adding them together. So do that for both shapes and then work out which one has an area and perimeter that are the same number. Pause the video for you to have a go and then come back once you are finished. Okay, so hopefully you got B as your answer. So the area of B is 20 centimeters and the perimeter is also 20 centimeters. So hopefully you got that one correct. Okay, final question for us today before you go off and have a go at the sheets. So Drew draws 2 equal rectangles. Now they're both 3 centimeters by 11 when they're by themselves. But then he puts them together to make a new shape. Then it says, use the correct formula to find the area and perimeter of the new shape, okay? So this is a compound shape, like we looked at yesterday. We know that the short lengths of the rectangles are 3 and the longer ones are 11. So use that to try and have a look at working out what the new area and perimeter is going to be. So pause the video and then have a go at working it out. Okay, so let's have a look at the perimeter first of all. Now, I've used my knowledge of these and my knowledge of rectangles and squares. So first off, I have visualized the 2 rectangles. Now, I know that this end is 3 and this end is 3 because it's a rectangle, the ends of these rectangles. And I know that this end is 3 and this end is also 3 because they're the ends of the rectangles. However, I then need to work out what these little sides are. And to do that, I know that the total length of a rectangle is 11. So I know that this is definitely a 3 because it's the end of the original rectangle. And I know that this 3 needs to add to this side and this side to make 11. I can see by my visualization that this end and this end are the same length. They're the same shape, aren't they? There. So first of all, I took 3 away from 11 and I got 8 and I divided that by 2 to get 4. So I know that this length is 4, this length is 4 because I add them together and it makes 11. I also can see that this length is the same as this length. So this must be 4 and this must be 4 also. Then I'm going to take this length, which should be 11. And I know that it's been cut off here to make it a little bit shorter. And I can see that this is clearly a square. So if this is 3, this must be 3. So I have taken 3 away from 11 to get 8. So I've got 8 on this side, 8 on this side. And then I added them all together and I got 44 centimetres. So hopefully you got that as your perimeter. And now finally to work out the area. Now already the shape has been split into different sections for you to work out the area. So all you need to do is work out the separate sections of the areas and add them all together. Now we know that this must be 8 times 3, this must be 4 times 3, this is 4 times 3, and we know from working out the length of the 8 that this is going to be 3. So if you didn't have a chance to do that because you got a bit stuck, you can have a go now at working out the area of each of those shapes. Okay, so now you should have worked out all 4 of the areas. So we've got 4 times 3 is 12, this is also 12, 3 times 3 is 9, 8 times 3 is 24, and then we just add them all together to get the total area, which should come to 57 centimetres squared, okay? Hopefully that makes sense because there might be a couple of those questions on the sheet for you. If you need some help, then come back and revisit this one on the video. But now we've gone through lots of different problem solving activities. Be careful not to be tripped out by any of the units. If they're different to each other, make sure you convert them first of all. But you should be ready. So go onto the website, choose the level of difficulty that you think best suits you and have a go at the questions.